Today we're going to learn about OR. OR says exactly what you would think. It says or. It's kind of a easier one because that O, you're going to be able to hear it. And it's going to say it's regular long sound. The A, when it has an R after it, doesn't say A or ah or even It says ah. The E and the I and the U, when there's an R after it, you don't hear them at all. All you hear is that R. But when you have an OR, you do hear the O, and it's regular long sound. So O will say O if there's an R after it. Most of the time. Not always. There are some words where OR is at the end, and if it's the very last sound, it's probably going to make a different sound, but that's for a different lesson. Today we're just talking about the OR sound that OR makes. So let me share my screen. Let's get learning. Okay. Here we are. So our first word, so when you hear or in these words, you're going to spell it O-R. And that usually comes at the beginning and middle of words. You're not going to see that at the end of any of these. Okay, our first word together is bornip. Bornip. So we're going to separate the sounds. B-O-R. N-I-P. Bornip. Consonants. B-O-R. N-I-P. Vowels. Here's that O that says O when there's an R after it. O-R says or. Bor, and then here's an I. And this I can spell the I sound right here just fine because there's not a vowel there or there. So there is bornip. They're each getting their own line because you can hear the O and you can hear the R. So we're underlining sounds. In reading class, we're learning to recognize those as a unit, but in spelling class, we're separating each sound, okay? So your word is forted. Forted. F-O-R-T-I-D. Go for it and then put it in the Q&A for me so I can see. Forted. 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 Take your time. Forted. Beautiful. You want sheath? Nice. Good, Anna. Good, Karis. Beautiful. Nice, Jack. Forted. Yeah, good. You've never spelled that word before in your life. I know because I made it up. But you knew how to spell it on your first try. Beautiful. So our consonants are F, O, R, T, I, D. Vowels. This O is going to say O because of that R after it. And then I is usually spelled with just a simple I, especially when the tab 2 rule applies, like right there. Good. Next. Everybody got that one pretty easily. So number 2 is kind of on the easier side. So I think I'm going to go more toward the medium one. I'm going to step it up a little bit challenge-wise because you got that one all. Every single person got that one right. All right, so we're going to go to more of a medium challenge. But this one we're going to do together. So poor mid. S-O-P-O-R-M-I-D. So poor mid. Consonants. S-O-P-O-R-M-I-D. So poor mid. Vowels. S-O. Can this O spell an O, long O sound in this spot? Yeah, because there's another vowel, 1 or 2 doors down. There's always a because. You should always be able to explain why a word is spelled the way it is so that you don't have to guess. This O can say O because of the tab 2 rule. There's a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots, so it says its name. This O is going to say O because there's an R after it. See, there's always a because, unless the word breaks the rules. So this O says O because there's a vowel, an R after it. And then here we have an I again that's spelling the I sound just fine because there's not a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. So, poor mid. Now, here is just a fun question. What would this word have said with 2 P's? If I put 2 P's there, now this vowel has 2 consonants after it, so it can't say its name anymore. It can't say O anymore. It has to make it short sound and say ah. So then it would turn into saw poor mid. Saw poor mid. So short vowels require 2 consonants. Long vowels need only 1 after it. Your word, toe for, no, that was too close. Toe bore mop. Toe bore mop. Now don't spell toe like this, my friends. Even though I know you know how to spell that word as if a toe on your foot, but that's not how you spell toe in the middle of words because this OE only comes at the end. And in our word, that toe sound is at the beginning. So you have to follow the rules that you've been learning. So your word is toe bore mop. T-O-R B-O, no, sorry. T-O-B-O-R M-A-P. Toe bore mop. Toe bore mop. Toe bore mop. And then put it in the Q&A. Good, Anna. Toe bore mop. That's right, you can spell it. Because you know how. You might also think that tow is spelled this way, like you're going to tow a car. But this OW, that's also for the end of words. You don't need it for the middle. There's a lot of ways that you can spell the O sound, but you always start with just the simplest. And if it works, stop, you're done. And an O, just a single O, is the simplest and most common way to just spell that long O sound. So we always start there first. And if it works, stop, you're done. And it will work if there's another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. Then you don't need a W, you don't need an E. If you want to change your answer, feel free. Toe bore mop. Yeah. Mop, mop, mop at the end. Like you're going to mop your kitchen floor. Toe bore mop. Okay, so consonants. T, O, B, O, R, M, A, P. So far, so good. Okay, for the O sound, we start with the most common spelling, which is just a regular O. We want it to say its name, so it has to have another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots, which it does. So stop, we're done. We don't need any other vowels. Or, here's an R right there, so this O is going to say O just fine. Ah, the most common spelling is an O, and it also follows the top 2 rule just fine, saying its short sound in that spot. So there's toe bore mop. Toe bore mop. Very good, Joy. Javiel, that's a pretty name. Hopefully I said that right. Toe bore mop. Riker, I have a feeling that you heard that as a B at the end instead of a P because it's kind of hard to hear in the mic. So we're going to count that as correct because you probably spelled it the way you heard it. All right, let's try one on your own without me. Plor font. Plor font. P-L-O-R-F-A-N-T. Plor font. Go for it. Take your time. Plor font. Plor font. Plor font. Gorgeous Jack. Excellent, Nimat. Chief. Gorgeous. Javiel. Nice. Plur font. Good, Hannah. You guys are amazing. All right, so consonants we have p, l, o, v, a, n, t, plur. Oh, sorry, this is an F. Plur font. Did I say? Yeah, I did. So this O is going to say O because of that R right there. This O is going to say A because the next two letters are consonants. Plur font. Now, it looks like every single person got that one correct. So let's step it up another notch. You ready to exercise your brain muscle? How about this one? Okay, but to set you up for success in this word, remember that when you're spelling a short vowel sound, it has to have two consonants after it. So when you're going through and you're spelling all of your consonant sounds first, when you go through and spell your vowels, if you have a short vowel sound, a, I, a, you might have to double the next letter so that it can still say its short sound. Keep that in mind. Okay, so our word is your word without me, Spittendorm. 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 Oh, good job, Karis. Spittendorm. I sure hope I'm saying everybody's name right. Feel free to correct me if I'm not. Spittendorm. Spitten, like dog, dorm. This is an e. I'm going to give you that. Spitten, Spitten, dorm. Okay. All right. We have our consonants are s, p, I, t, e, n, d, o, m. Vowels, I. Can this I say I here? Well, there's another vowel, one or two doors down. I can see it because I dotted it. That would make that say I. It's long sound. I don't want it to say I. I want it to say I. It is a short vowel sound. Short vowel sounds require two consonants after them. If there's not two, make two. Well done if you did that. And then here's our O, followed by an R that says or at the end. Let me just look at, oh, good job with your double T's. Well done. Let's try another one like that, okay? So now that you've had a practice one, try this one. Flippendorf. So there's two F's in this word. Flippendorf. F. Make sure you have the same number of lines and that the right sounds are dotted for the vowel sounds. Flippendorf. This is an I, like itchy. This is an E, like egg, exit. Flippendorf. 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 Now these are going to be sounds. This is how many sounds there are. Let's make sure yours. You know, if you just start off with the right number of lines and then dot them and then go back and spell them, it'll be a lot easier. Flip, this is an E. A lot of people are putting an I here. It's an E. Flippendorf. Flippendorf. I'm going to have one or two more people put theirs in. before I give you the answer. Nice. Wow, gorgeous. Okay, consonants. F, U, I, P, E, N, D, O, F. Okay. Fli. Here I want a short vowel sound. Short vowel sounds require two consonants after them. If there's not two, we make two. Now it can say I in that spot. This is also a short vowel sound, E, which is just fine because there are already two consonants after it. And then here's our O that says O followed by a vowel. I mean an R. That is our spelling rule for the day. If you hear or, you spell it O-R. Flippendorf. I bet you got close if you didn't get it right on. Well done, Javiel and Riker. Good job. And everybody else who got it right. Good job. All right, we're going to end on kind of a medium one. I want you to spell floor. No, don't spell it like this. And this one's actually on the harder side, not super. It's not really medium. It's kind of hard. Don't spell floor like this. That's how you spell floor that you stand on. Not floor when it's just stuck in the middle of the word. Remember, you always just use a single vowel first. We always try just a single letter to spell the vowel sound. And then if it works, stop, you're done. So your word is floor tendy. Floor tendy. F-O-O-R-T-E-N-D-E. Floor tendy. Floor tendy. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see floor tendy. Here's a hint. If you hear E at the end, don't spell it with an E. Spell it with a Y. E's at the end are usually silent. So if you hear E at the end, spell it with a Y. Good. Feel free to change your answer. You're not locked in. You can change as many times as you want. Full, there's an L right here. Full, lore, tendy. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Floor, tendy. Let me see a couple more. Nice. Good, Melanie. Nice, Ricker. Good, Nina Sheath. I hate to leave anybody out, but you're all doing amazing. Even if you're a letter or two off, you got most of the sounds right, and that's a win. Okay, so floor tendy. We have f, ul, o, t, e, n, d, e. O says O when there's an R after it, so there's our or. E can make a short sound right here just fine because there are two consonants after it. E at the end of a longer word is usually spelled with a Y. There is floor tendy. Let me make this easier to see. Floor tendy. Now, once you can see it, I could probably erase it and you would spell it just fine, wouldn't you? Even if you didn't get it right the first time. Once you saw me do it, if you could then spell it correctly, that's a win. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're making progress, right? Every time you get it, even if it's when I do it on my whiteboard, if you get it when I do it, then it's getting sunk into your brain correctly and you'll have a better chance of getting the next one right. So well done. I'm so proud of you. So you have learned AR says R, ER, IR, UR say OR says or most of the time, especially when it's at the beginning and the middle. At the end, it can say something else. I think next time we are going to those W control vowels. Those are a doozy, but it's a good thing you guys are brilliant because you'll pick it up really quickly. All right, have a great night being great. See you next time. Bye, everybody.